Yeah, I have another skull somewhere here. I didn't bring it out. I'm not going to go digging for it right now. That has erupted, has dental cysts where it's erupted in 2 places here and 1 place in the bottom jawbone.
Ooh,
And that horse was a horse that died. That's why I got its head. But my assumption is that may have been the contributing factor to what caused it to die. One of the clues was when I looked at the horse's the teeth, they actually had been done by somebody quite well. There was a good dentistry done on there. There was a bit seed. Everything had been done. I was relatively impressed with the way the teeth were done. But that tells me that whoever owned the horse maybe got someone else to do the horse's teeth because it was having a problem eating or was showing signs of a problem. That problem you may not always, it depends on the person working on the horse. Some people don't catch it. If you're suspecting of that, you need x-rays, of a lot more follow-up that needs to be done to determine whether it is that or not, because it's underneath the muscle, tissue, and skin, so you're not going to see it, and only an x-ray will bring that to the surface.
Wow.
Yeah?
What are the symptoms? Like, how can you tell if your horse is in pain or is having problems with the teeth, other than them not, dropping their food as they eat it? Or some way they behave just in the corral or anything like that?
Kind of a good question. You mean with a younger horse or in general?
In general.
Well, first off, they should have their teeth done on a regular basis, and generally speaking, if they're on a regular basis, you can eliminate the teeth being a problem. On a young horse, obviously, there are stages that they're going to be losing teeth and that the dental cysts are going to develop, so it's an age-appropriate thing. Meaning at 2, generally it's not going to be such a big deal. At 2.5, they start to lose their first deciduous cap, and then around 3 and 4, 4.5, the second and third one. So those time frames are areas you should look at. Possibly that's the problem, and it would be maybe they were eating quite fine, getting into their food, and all of a sudden they're slow. They're not eating as fast as they normally do, and things like that usually happen. Sometimes when you're riding them, they're riding beautifully, and all of a sudden they're being difficult. I've had horses that were being horrible. That people say, I don't know what's going on with this horse. I'm thinking it's the teeth. We go in there, we find some tooth problems. We correct it. 2 days later, they ride the horse again, call me back, say, look, whatever you did, it must have been that, because this horse has been consistently problematic for the last 3 weeks, and my very next ride, no problem. So,
Do you want to use my horse for an example? Because Tani and I think she has something going on with
Yeah,
her
we
teeth.
definitely.
You can look at their eyes too.
there's a lot of ways you can also...
The eyes will show pain.
Yes,
Oh,
they
yeah.
will. They will, and also you can look if they have a badly malformed mouth, it's out of occlusion, wave complexes, and other problems. Often they'll chew differently each way because of the imbalance in the teeth, and the muscles in the head will be atrophied on one side. You'll have a more dominant muscle, or you'll have muscles that are actually different. So if you examine the horse's muscles, run your hands over the horse's face and underneath. With mild cases, you may not see much of a difference because it's too small to make that drastic a change. But with severe problems, there's usually atrophied muscles or overdeveloped muscles on the horse's skull and the maxilla and mandible area.
Yeah. I had seen several years ago. I had seen a DVD
Right.
on this subject.
Right.
And one of the things that I found to be tremendously dramatic, and I don't know if any of your materials include this, and they very well may, but there was somebody that had said that there was a horse that the horse was having difficulty in the rear end.
Sure, it does affect the whole movement.
The
definitely.
dentist, whether it was you on the video or somebody else, was saying, no, it's in the teeth, and the owner's saying, oh yeah, now I know you're nuts. Now I know you're a crackpot. But what happens is that it's like a domino principle. You have a problem in the teeth, suddenly you've got a TMJ problem. That translates all the way down the spine, clear to the hind end of the horse. So the bottom line was that the dental was done. The horse, suddenly the conformation changed. They actually took before and after photographs, and you could see that the conformation, the horse was standing differently.
Well, even when you are riding a horse and you're asking it to set its head, if the horse is extending its neck and it's setting its head properly, the movement's going to be one way. If the horse is up tight and is pulling his head up, he's still on the bit, but he's like all tight, it's going to affect the rear, the front end, it's going to affect his movement. So how that horse comes out and sets its head when you're asking him to be on the bit and drive with the rear or whatever movement you want to get out of the horse, the headset makes a huge difference. If the teeth are uncomfortable, he's not going to be comfortable. He's going to give you an unnatural setting, and you're going to have a lot harder time asking the horse to put its head where you know it should be, therefore his whole conformation. I even have dressage riders who have plateaued out on their score. They're getting consistently a certain score, and they haven't gone over that, I'll do the teeth. I've never done it this particular way, the motorized dentistry and the whole balancing. Again, it's like the same thing. The next competition they go to, the next a week or two later, they go to compete and they bumped up another level that they had never seen before. I always say, well, maybe it was, I'm the skeptical person myself. I think, okay, maybe that was just a fluke. But then I would get it time after time after time after time, reports back the same thing. So, okay, it's not just me wanting to wish I did a good job. The clients are telling me, the results are telling me, it's a little bit more of an actual, like a case study scenario where you got solid proof that the horses are actually performing with it. Yes.
I just wanted to piggyback onto what Tani said, because it's the whole body. If a horse or a person has problems in the sacrum, that can manifest in TMJ or migraine headaches. The whole deal is connected.
Right.
It is really a holistic approach, but I don't think that most people just don't have a clue with regard to the dentistry and the tremendous impact that the correction on the teeth can
Part of the
make.
problem with teeth, it's kind of like out of sight and out of mind. You don't see it, the horse is eating, everything seems to be okay. A lot of people wait until there's a problem. I mean, I get clients call me all the time, and bless their hearts, they have no ill intentions, but they call me up and go, well, my horse is 17 years old and he's not eating right, so I think it's time for him to have a dentistry, like the first time. And they don't know any difference. I'm not going to be there and start, brow bashing them. It's like, fine, that's no problem. Today's a new day. At least you called me. At least they called me. That's a good thing. But a lot of people wait until it's losing weight, it's dropping food, it's something symptomatic that's obvious. My thinking is, let's just maintain the teeth. Let there be no symptoms. Let's just never go down that road where we have a major problem, because now the horse is actually suffering for it. You and I can say, I have a dental problem, or I'm going to go to the dentist, or we have the mentality, well, I'm going to maintain my teeth because I want to keep my teeth for my whole life, and we do regular dental care on ourselves, and frankly, the horses should get, or whether you have a horse or a dog, they should get, proper dental care. All animals, what we have. It's our responsibility. I think it's a grand responsibility to own an animal, because they're at your mercy. You're either going to be a good owner, or you're going to be an intentionally lousy owner, or a naive lousy owner. Because some people don't want to do wrong by their horse, but just because they don't know, they do wrong by their horse. I spend a lot of time educating people, volunteering my time like this, because I love to open people's eyes and get their mind thinking in an area they may not have given a lot of thought. They may have given a passing thought, but not really gone in depth and thought, well, teeth are pretty important. So that's really the reasoning. I did last year, 2006, I did a 5-part series on RFD TV on horse dentistry, and I got emails like crazy. People asking me, I was forever answering back people across the country, which is great. I was enjoying helping people understand more about their horse's teeth. So I take as much time as I can when I can to do this type of thing to help educate people. Any more questions?
Well, I wanted to mention something here. Because you come from quite a distance, but I so value the work that you do.
Thank you.
We're looking at, if any of you are considering having Brian work on your horses, please let us know. Let him know today, because I know, Jim, you wanted to have him out, and I've got a 29-year-old that needs...
And this stallion, actually, that he's going to be riding today, we've worked on him.
Oh, see, that's awesome. And so just please know that now is an opportunity for you to at least check, and we can schedule a date so that when he comes to an area, it's worth his time, because he needs 8 to 12 horses in an area.
There's a lot of equipment to unpack.
Exactly.
Years ago, they bought a bucket, they bought 3 or 4 files, and they may have had a speculum to open the mouth, and a lot of times they don't. They just rasp away in there. So I have to come with a whole, group of equipment, and I lay out all my tools. It's a big process to get ready.
Plus he brings a vet.
And I bring a vet with me.
him.
California law's got a little bit stricter. Things are continually changing. There was a situation with anesthesia-free scaling of dog's teeth and canine care, and they passed a law to try and stop them, saying any metal instrument touching an animal's tooth, not a dog or a cat, it's the animal's tooth in general, is now veterinary medicine. So if you even file float a horse's teeth with no sedation, that is now practicing veterinary medicine without a license.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
Even just a basic little quickie float is veterinary medicine now. So you have to have a vet there. You can do it under their supervision. My vet reads the book while we're working. She says, I'm supervising. She makes light of it because, there's nothing that she's really telling me to do. She's just there to keep us under the letter of the law, so to speak. Yes.